Okay, jumping into principle number 1. Human beings are fundamentally wired to seek reward and avoid pain. Okay, the main primary reward chemical in the human brain is something called dopamine. We are all born addicts, myself included. We are all addicts to dopamine. It is the way the human brain and the body figures out over time what is considered good and what is bad. What should I go after more of and what should I avoid? We are constantly seeking more and more dopamine. We want it yesterday and we want it for as little effort as humanly possible. So I want to introduce you all to the concept of slow versus fast dopamine. And as I mentioned before, we were all born addicts at baseline. Okay, this is just how the human brain operates. We're all going to be this rat over here to the right, pressing the lever for food or for dopamine, because again, we want it yesterday and we want it for as little effort as humanly possible. So taking a step back, thinking about your to-do list, on an average day, your priority list for any given day. What on your to-do list will give you a sense of progress and a sense of completion for as little effort as humanly possible? For most of us, it's going to be email. It's going to be sending and receiving messages. We are all going to naturally gravitate towards jumping into the inbox first thing in the morning. And the reason why, again, it goes back to biology. It's not your fault. We're all wired this way, myself included. It gives us a sense of, oh, I'm involved, I'm contributing, I'm doing something, I'm not going to miss anything. It's all of those tiny little hits of fast dopamine, as opposed to slow dopamine. Slow dopamine are going to be those tasks, maybe 1 to a maximum of 3 big chunky pieces of work that's going to take hours to complete. It's going to take you potentially a week, a month, potentially the entire quarter to see some massive results. So the cheese, the big hunk of cheese, that dopamine is all at the very end of the maze. So you have to continue to expend energy and work towards these goals tirelessly, like for hours and potentially days before you start to see that dopaminergic reward or output. We are not going to naturally be gravitating towards these kinds of tasks, but more likely than not, these are the tasks that people will remember. These are the tasks that are going to push the company's productivity, each individual's productivity forward. So they get promoted, they continue to move forward in their career, their managers and supervisors will remember at their, at the annual review. These are the things that really make the biggest impact, but we're not going to naturally or biologically gravitate towards them.